What if I were to tell you that within about 5 years, maybe more, maybe less, YouTube will cease to exist? How would you feel? Would that make you upset? Would that bother you? Would that bug you to no end? Well, if it does, that's a good thing, because there's a problem. YouTube, in its infinite wisdom, has a death clock already set. Now, okay, I know, you're asking yourself, how? Why? What? Well, technically it's true. And I'm going to explain, at least how I see it, why that is. Today on Andrew Discusses, YouTube's imminent demise, or their downfall anyway. So, before anybody asks, this isn't entirely a result of COPPA or COPA, or however you pronounce it, but it is somewhat affected by it. So, I just want to get that out there. Not to mention other issues along the line. So, before we go any further, I have at least three points that I want to stress in this throughout anything. Creators, system, and interface. Those three things might seem generic to you, but hear me out. They're all true. YouTube doesn't care about its creators. That's a point. Well, let me rephrase that. It doesn't care about all of the creators. It cares about the upper echelon creators. Consider YouTube that ass-kissing employee at a multinational corporation. You know, the one that constantly smoozes up to the higher-ups to try to get themselves a better office. That type of individual is what YouTube is. Now, of course, YouTube could also be its own stupid thing, but yeah, never mind. YouTube is. They basically have their heads up their own backsides. And all they care about, while they do care about profits, because let's face it, it's a company, and at the end of the day, money talks, baloney walks, they also care about the higher-up employees that bring them said money. Basically, the higher-up echelon YouTubers. You know, the ones that get 2 to 3 million views per video? Yeah, those YouTubers. Whereas the ones that barely bring anything in are constantly worried that they're on the chopping block. Is YouTube going to consider me a worthless, addition to their site, and they're going to get rid of me to bring up server space for the upper echelon? You're always having the Damocles sword over your head, as it were. And YouTube doesn't care about the lower class creators. Now, they can say that they do, and that's fine from a PR standpoint, but let's look at this from an actual standpoint. You don't. You really don't. You never have. In all honesty, while YouTube does, in a sense, care, they don't care about those that they can help. They care about those that are helping them. How can they make everything better for them? How can they make it so that they'll make more money? There is the main and major questions. Because, truthfully, I don't even know. I don't even think YouTube knows anymore at this point. All they know is that if they help the upper ones, the lower ones will either get fed up and leave, freeing up more server space, or they'll just have to go and say, hey, we need to get rid of a bunch of people's stuff because we need some extra room, and your ass gets thrown off anyway. Either way, the Damocles sword is constantly over your head. Either by your own downfall do you swing it, or is it just swung upon you from an outside source? If YouTube wants to stay off of possibly becoming a footnote in the history of the internet, they could honestly just start caring about every creator, not just the upper echelon ones. And yes, keep in mind, I am one of these smaller creators, so I am speaking from experience. YouTube tries their best to help everyone, but the problem is they can't. I get that. However, in some cases, I don't feel like they're trying hard enough. It, at the end of the day, does seem like the 2 to 3 million views per video, and I mean within the first 2 hours per video, is all YouTube cares about. Lower end channels can't exactly do that well. And the main issue comes from my next point. the system. A great man who once helped corner the stone of Lego without even knowing it. I don't even know the man's name. He was literally just some toy salesman on a boat that the founder of Lego's son met on his way home. I'm not even joking. Look up the Lego story. He said that there's no system in the way that building toys were done. There was no system. There was nothing. The toy industry is great, but there's no system. YouTube's the same way. YouTube's great, but there's no system. There's no uniqueness to it. Now, sure, yes, okay, there's categories and there's, uploadings and everything else. But the problem falls under a multitude of things under this point. You have the copyright bots that will literally take you down for anything. 2 seconds of something is copyrightable. No bother to look and see, hey, are they doing this, for a reason? Nope, it's copyright material. Boom, down it goes in 2 seconds flat. No ifs, ands, or buts. And the majority of the time, it's false copyright flags. Now, YouTube has been working on a way to improve this because, let's face it, viewers' voices have been heard. Thank God for that. But still, at the end of the day, YouTube can't fix everything. God knows they should, but they can't. That, of course, leads us to the next problem. Uploading. YouTube's entire uploading system, is a complete and total joke. I actually have written down on in my one little notebook that I carry with me in my laptop bag as I unwrap it from its multiple rubber band security. Yes, I'm a little insane sometimes, but still. As I unwrap this, I actually have written down in here. Here we go. This is the recommended uploading and encoding set for YouTube videos. They would like your container to be MP4. No edit lists or the video might get not produced. MOAVATOM at the front of the file. And I've literally jotted this down right off of the YouTube help site. I am not even joking. Audio codecs, they would like AAC-LC. Channels would be stereo or stereo plus 5.1. Sample rate would be 96 kilohertz or 48 kilohertz. Video codecs would be H.264. Progressive scan with no interlacing. High profile. 2 consecutive B frames. Closed GOP, .GOP or half of the FR, which would be frame rate. CABAC, variable bit rate, Chromia subsampling 420. Now, if any of this made any sense to you, this is just the first page. This is I actually have 3 pages of this that were written down. If that made any sense to you, please let me know in the comment section, because I still cannot understand this. This is literally like I found an alien spacecraft at Area 51, copied this down, and I'm trying to translate it. Some of it I understood, but not all of it. Then you have the frame rate, which the content should be encoded and uploaded in the same frame rate as recorded. Common frame rates include 24, 25, 30, 48, 56, and 60 frames per second. With bit rates being your standard uploads of 260 or 2160p type should be 35 to 45 standard or 53 to 68 for high. At the 1440p should be 16 standard, 24 high. 1080p should be 8 standard, 12 high. 720p should be 5 standard, 7.5 high. 480p should be 2.5 standard by 4 high. And 360p should be 1 standard, 1.5 high. And that's not even counting the HDR, which basically gives you a whole bunch more. And then the audio systems. For mono, it should be 128 kilobits per second. Stereo should be 364 kbps. And 5.1 should be 512 kbps. With resolution and aspect, standard should be 16 by 9. And this was all off of YouTube's Here's how you, the creator, can make your video better. YouTube, I've said this so many times, I feel like a broken record at this point, but it still stands to be said once again. Why don't you just, in your infinite wisdom and availability, because I know there are open source ones out there that you could make, change some of it, which is legal, mind you, and create your own video creation software that is widely available for free, mind you, to your YouTube users. That way, they can make a channel, they can make videos that will follow your asinine system. This is a joke. If I can't even understand page one, for God's sake, okay? Page frickin' 1, that is a problem. I don't know if you understand this too much, but let me run this through to you. So many video programs do have a functionality to upload for YouTube. However, that brings up the question of, is it uploading to the old YouTube or the new YouTube? And there's the other problem. YouTube's constant changing of the guard and changing of how they handle things. Their entire system just can't handle the massive change. At one point in time, making a video file in WMV format, which was Windows Media Video, or Windows Media, yeah, I think it was Windows Media Video, but either way, WMV worked perfectly fine for uploading. The speed was a lot better, and the size was comparable. And on top of that, it uploaded a hell of a lot faster. Nowadays, even back then, I was getting some issues where YouTube was telling me you should upload this as an MP4. But then you upload it as an MP4, and it takes forever and a half. Because YouTube's system doesn't understand that it can upload it faster this way. It's encoded to the way that YouTube's system recommends, but YouTube's system doesn't understand it. It's kind of bad when its own system can't make it happen. The issue with this is that with so many things that YouTube could do and so many possibilities at their disposal, they're choosing to ignore the biggest one. They are a video hosting site with millions upon millions of users on a daily basis that they don't want to use and give them the tools that could make or break their entire time. If you suck at making videos, or you can't afford the high-end video software, or you can't get your hands on any of the free ones that are online, or they don't work for you, either because they're not complicated, like they're too complicated, or they're too simple, then YouTube could step in by getting an open source one, which there are tons out there. I could even do a Google search here quick for open source video creators. Hold on. But you could easily take one of the open source ones, find it, change it to suit your needs since it's open source, and there you go. I mean, seriously. Open source video editing. There's literally a Google search for this. And wow, there's a lot. There's a thing on here, the best three. The 3 best open source video editors. List of video editing software. There's a Wikipedia article. 11 best and free open video source. In 2020, nonetheless, there's a video. There's an entire page for that. Yeah, and YouTube just can't come up with their own. You literally have Google at your back door, and you can't come up with anything on your own to help the creators. Oh, we have YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio only helps with the end result, and what happens in between is too complicated even for me to understand it. Figure it this way. If you're basing your generalness off of how the general audience is going to be able to handle it, consider me the general audience. If I can't understand it, it sucks. Okay? That's a simple project. Creating your own open source or creating your own video software that you can download for yourself to use as a creator would be a humongous add into this. Because then it would be formatted in a video subset that would work for YouTube, that would allow it to be uploaded quickly. You could even have it upload directly from that program if you wanted to. And the best part is that if YouTube would change their encoding system down the road, or they would have to edit how videos are to be uploaded, they could simply put it in there as an update patch and it would fix the problem. Instead of giving us alienees from a ship in Area 51 that even I can't understand, that's an idea to help creators. If you help creators make better videos by putting and giving them the tools to do so, you can help improve your site. It's like that old saying. You give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Okay? It's the same proverb. It works both ways. By handing us the thing, yeah, sure, you're helping us one time. But if you hand us the thing and then are teaching us in your creators' videos how to do it, then you're helping us improve ourselves over time. Not only that, but with the creators as it is, I always feel like YouTube, if there's ever a creator out there, if you're a YouTuber, I feel like that should be something you should be able to put on a resume, because you have a crap ton of experience that you're getting at your fingertips. And granted, you're still having this experience, it's just that YouTube's giving you a tool to help. It's the same proverb. YouTube's just giving you the spear. You're going out to the water and you're spearing the fish yourself, but YouTube just gave you the spear. Here you go. Have a spear. My gift to you. And then you go out there and you're still spearing the fish on your own. You're still eating on your own. You're catching your own food. YouTube's just providing you the tool to get it. That's what bothers me, that YouTube doesn't do that. But then, as if there wasn't enough to be angry about with this, then brings up my last thing, the interface. When COPA hit YouTube, it hit YouTube hard and fast. So many channels, especially the one that I still subscribe to, Bolt Matrix. If his channel ever dies off, it will be the downfall, and I will blame YouTube for it. Then again, I think everybody will. I won't be the only one. Basically, YouTube taking on COPA. Now, I said this multiple times, and it goes into the interface of the system. With YouTube, they could have, and very well could have, instigated an age gate for children videos. You could have easily had it that your AI registers, oh, they've watched 3 or 4 videos that are marked for children. Their account must be a child. Therefore, temporarily, until the account gets logged off and they sign out, put it into kids mode. Then, if they want to get out of kids mode but still be logged in, you have to text them a passcode to unlock it. But it's a code that only that they will know. Now, granted, I can hear somebody go, but what if it's a kid watching it on their parent's phone? You show me, and I mean this day and age, you show me a 10-year-old that knows their parent's phone number. That doesn't just hit the button that says mommy or daddy. I dare you. Because you can't. That's the thing. But with YouTube, they could have easily just done, here's an age gate. Not a problem. And that would have solved 90% of this. On top of that, there's also the little thing that I have constantly brought up, and I know I'm not alone in this, because I brought it up on Twitter, and even Bolt Matrix looked into it and said, yeah, this is true. There is the general audience exception in COPA. Because we as the creators at the time, and still to this day, we gear our videos for our audience, and our audience is 13 and older. Because 13 is the minimum age you need to be to sign up and make an account on YouTube. For this to be a thing, they could have easily just did the viewer exception or the general audience exception. Title 16, I think it was 302-12.12 or something. Title 16 TFR. I have it written down somewhere, but yeah, that's basically what it is. Basically, it's Title 16. I think it was like TFR 302.2 or 312.2 or something. Either way, it's the general audience exception. And a lot of channels on here can qualify for that. Bolt Matrix especially, his channel, yeah, sure, okay, he reviews toys, but figure it this way. Is he reviewing them for a child to go out and buy them? No. He's reviewing them from the aspect of a collector and as a parent. You know, if I'd be a parent, I would have loved to have known that stupid Bumblebee figure can blow apart just by dropping it. And the pieces can go flying everywhere because it's horribly put together. I think any parent would like to know, at least the ones that care about their kids. There are some that don't. I won't lie, I've seen it. But some of the parents out there probably would have loved to have known, hey, this toy's a piece of crap. I don't want to let my kid get it. So you're technically then gearing the videos towards the parents. You're gearing the video towards collectors. From a collector's standpoint. I mean, I collect certain Transformers figures. Okay? And I have watched a good chunk of his reviews to see, is this one worth getting or not? Sometimes they are, and I look around for it. Sometimes they're not, and I avoid them like the plague. One time it was worth getting it, and I still don't agree entirely with his review, but to each their own. But at the end of the day, what bothers me about that is the fact that YouTube just threw that channel under the bus because, well, we're buying by Copa, so any channel that we deem for kids, that's for kids. There's no middle ground. No, there's a middle ground. You just didn't want to agree to a middle ground because in that way you could avoid having to come up with an age gate. You could avoid having to pay people, which goes back to my first point. You don't care about creators. All you care about is the almighty YouTube. That is all you care about. The interface of the site sucks. And granted, they keep improving it every now and then. They keep making it a little better, but figure it this way. If I have more fun on the app than I do on the website, that's a problem for me. If the app is more engaging than the website, that's an issue. You don't care about the creators. Your interface on your site, while you are improving it, still leaves a lot to the imagination. I mean, so much to the imagination, by the way. I mean, you could really upgrade that so many different ways it isn't funny. But, I mean, there is. Let me give you a prime example. Let me give you an example quick. You could have it be like a wheel. Imagine like the big spinning wheel on The Price is Right. And 3 sections of it. Okay? And then you can make a small playlist that'll play 3 videos in a row of the 3 that you pick. That way you're guaranteed to stay on the site longer. So like you spin it around and then you find the one that you want. So then you tap that and that's registered as 1. And you do the next one on the next one and on the third one. And that could just be an option for people that want to like binge watch something. Like, hey, okay, here, let me pull this up. So then the second wheel after your first choice will be geared towards similar choices from that first choice to net you into staying. And it's similar with the third wheel. Hell, you could even add a 4th one in if you wanted and have 4 wheels. But that's just an idea of a way to improve your interface. Figure out a solution and utilize your AI, which you're so proud of, to its fullest potential. Don't just have it be some type of over-glorified secret police that you just let loose on the site every now and then to scare the crap out of the creators. We, the creators, get sick and tired of that. I mean, granted, I avoid a majority of the crap that YouTube brings because I fly under the radar for a reason. I don't want to lose my channel. And that is always the Damocles sword that hides above our heads. That you don't care about the users. You don't want to give us the tools that we could use to help us anyway to make the videos better, to bring your site more people coming in thinking, hey, I can do this. Here's the thing. Here's the video editing program that YouTube put out for everybody. Hey, I can do this with this. That's not a problem. And create more YouTubers, which gives more people on your site. And then improve your interface. But with all those things, you're eventually going to fall to the wayside. Now, granted, like I said, you're improving the interface from time to time, and you're trying to help the creators, but your help is not helping. It's mostly reiterating, or in this case, regurgitating what's already available. If you actually help the creators by giving them a tool to use that meets your format that you want for your site to upload videos, you don't have a problem. There's a program called Handbrake that can literally take the frame rate of the video and adjust it, shrink the size and everything else. Create a video program that not only allows you to basically create the video, edit the video, but also reduce the size of it in a way, and you would have a winner. So even your higher echelon YouTubers would probably use it, and they would put out more content. And since you only seem to care about the upper echelon of YouTube, then that wouldn't be an issue for you. But the way I see it, and from where I'm sitting, YouTube has about 5 years left to live. That's being generous. I mean, YouTube itself could burn out sooner. It could screw up royally and basically face its own Damocles sword. Or, come 5 years, it might still be around on life support, limping along, but you never know until it happens. YouTube basically met its demise, and it's just, at this point, holding on for dear life. But I want to know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think YouTube's basically no longer useful, or do you think it's now a shell of its former self? I want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been Andrew Discusses. Thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye.